Gee, up there it is. I was waiting for the World Candlelight voice. I swear I'm not dead.
Hey, hi, welcome. Remember me? Remember when I did these? Hi. I don't know when this is gonna get put up, but I technically did one of these already. Except, all the audio kind of, you know, didn't record for that other part, so I'm gonna focus on trying to get that back, but that's gonna be a bit. And in that time, I'm gonna try to take this time to catch up, because I've missed three technically, but two. I've missed two of these. I've missed them. I've missed them because they take so long to fucking do. I was even gonna prepare a special intro, but I'm like, no intros. Just go. Just watch. I'm gonna do it. I even have it loaded up right here. It's right here. I'm ready to start now because no time. Don't even have any comments. I live streamed the last episode, so all the comments are in there, and you know I reacted to them live, so it's fine. Anyway, go! Why Japanese? Why do I have Japanese subtitles? When did I turn on Japanese subtitles? That's not it's China. When did I turn on Chinese subtitles? What? YouTube? I did not turn on Chinese subtitles. It's weird.
Okay. First trial in Equestria, no big deal. It'll just be like any other.
Except with magic, and 2 kids as defendants, and no help from Phoenix or Apollo.
Widget, can you say something positive for a change?
I am positive that this trial will be anything but a cakewalk.
Already we're starting with this. We're starting with Widget being sassy, which I always appreciate. Very much always appreciate Widget fucking throwing in Athena's actual thoughts. But we're always going to be bringing back to the cakewalk, huh? That meme will never die, evidently. The team will also won't let it die, evidently.
I got up early to run a few laps around the castle. As soon as I was done, I rushed over.
Alright.
You were already up late last night. How many hours did you actually sleep?
She didn't sleep at all.
About 3, I'd say.
Ooh, she's sleep deprived during a trial, huh?
Something to eat?
I had something to drink after my laps. Nothing like some freshly squeezed orange juice after a good workout.
But did you eat?
Applejack hear that.
What was that?
Nothing.
Trust me, Twilight.
Oh my god.
Nothing out of the ordinary for Athena.
Yo, models?
Not exactly a great idea to tire yourself out before the trial even starts.
It's almost weird to see the models actually being used now.
Some exercise, Mr. Overnight Instant Noodles and Comics.
It's called manga, and it's art.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? You're gonna make a reference to, You're gonna make a reference to The Office? You're gonna just make a random reference, huh? Don't think I don't know what that actually is. I know what that's a reference to. Think you coin slide. Mofos think that they're fucking clever. It's good. The models are good.
There's a lot.
It's just jarring.
So trucy.
It's just jarring to finally see the models after only seeing the sprites in this. Which you'd think that I'd be more used to seeing the models.
Speaking of those kids, where are they? They should have been brought here by now.
Unless they're already in.
Apparently, the prosecutor wanted to have one last conversation with them before the trial started.
Yeah.
They should be here any minute.
Hopefully soon. The trial's about to start.
Yeah, but
By the way, Twilight, did you manage to get any info about
it wasn't we saw who the prosecutor. It wasn't Moonlight or Sonata. It wasn't Sonata. But Yeah, it wasn't Sonata, but we saw who it was in the end. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Prosecutor?
And she doesn't know.
Wait, they didn't even tell you?
They showed her. I definitely know they showed her. And I can remember her cutie mark, but I don't remember her face.
For not being able to find out who the prosecutor is? I gave you my word that I would, after all.
It's fine, you'll figure it out. Twilight. Oh, hi.
Good morning, every pony. Especially to you, Princess Twilight.
Turning, there's no need to bow to me, really.
But Princess.
Of course there is.
How did you know I was assisting the defense?
Yeah, how did you know? Scoot.
Well, it was the prosecutor. They told us to be aware of your presence today.
Why does it always feel like we're being left in the dark?
Never mind, I thought it was Scootaloo that told him.
About the prosecution, but somehow they already know about us?
I don't care what happens to me, but you must defend Scootaloo no matter what. She's innocent. I know it. If worse comes to worse, let me take the blame and just save her.
What?
Turning, no!
You're gonna be a martyr for her?
Realize what'll happen if we do that?
Also, yeah, that's not good.
You'll be back from Equestria.
I know that.
Bro, that's still not good.
That's a price I'm willing to pay.
You gotta save the both of you.
Think of your mom. She just lost your dad after all.
Yeah. Yeah.
She'll be fine. Besides, she'd understand.
Are you sure?
Sometimes sacrifices need to be made.
Just who exactly is the prosecutor? And what exactly did they think?
What's gonna happen is that as soon as Scootaloo says, either she's gonna be like, we can't tell you, or as soon as you're like, oh, by the way, get into the courtroom right now, the trial's about to start. Like, that's what's gonna happen. By the way, I have a new microphone in case you couldn't, in case you weren't, weren't aware. I look like I have blush. I look like I have anime blush with this fucking, with this red light. Oh, that's not. It's fine. It's fine.
We were told not to tell you anything about the prosecutor's identity or plan.
But why? We're gonna figure it out anyway.
What's the deal? Why are they being so secretive?
I don't know, but it's starting to get on my nerves.
You're going in with no information.
Scoots! Turning! You guys doing alright? Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, animation.
I'm glad you've all come out to support Scootaloo and Turning.
Well, most of us don't.
Where's Fluttershy and Applejack?
Some pony didn't want to get out of bed today.
Is it Applejack?
Drag her to the courthouse.
Is it Applejack? No, Sweetie Belle. Oh no.
Well,
Oh no.
since I guess she was feeling
Oh
she.
no. Sweetie.
She doesn't seem like she's ill at all.
Hello? Be quiet.
Miss Sykes, what's going on?
You see...
You didn't want to help us investigate the case.
Widget is such an asshole.
Oh, Widget!
Oh god.
No! It's not like that at all! It's not like I don't want to help. I'm just so sure that Scootaloo is innocent, and I know that Princess Twilight and Miss Sykes will be able to prove it without my help.
Where's the Discord in the voice?
Sweetie.
Because it's in there.
That's how it works, right? In court, the truth will come out no matter what. You didn't even want to try and help, though?
Sweetie, what are you talking about? We're the Cutie Mark Crusaders.
Drama.
Together, and that includes helping each other out no matter what. Considering what she did, I didn't want to get in the way and make things worse, like you did.
Oh, damn! There's so much drama!
What are you talking about, sweetie?
What is going on?
You know what you did? You stole some fabric from Carousel Boutique the other night. You went into the forest and gave it to Diamond.
Oh my god.
In exchange for your scooter?
Girls, that's enough.
Can we start the trial already so that these girls can, like, calm down?
How did you know that Scootaloo stole the fabric in the first place?
Yeah, you just gave yourself away there, too. Like...
How did you know about that?
And there she goes. What?
Hiding from us, Sweetie Belle.
Is she hiding or did she run away?
That is quite enough. No, she's clearly keeping quiet about something. And if it can help Scootaloo, then she needs to tell us.
You need to calm down, Rainbow. You're not helping any pony by scaring Sweetie Belle.
I just knew, all right? Something didn't seem right when Turning showed up in the middle of the night to say hello, so I figured something was up.
So she was
Went around the boutique after he left.
So she was aware. All right.
Of golden silk was
All right. So she was aware.
See, there you go, Rainbow. A perfectly reasonable.
She was aware.
I don't buy it. You followed them there, didn't you?
Can we start the trial?
Back off.
Bailiff, please.
Look, I need to go. I'll see you all in there, okay? Sweetie Belle.
So much drama. So much.
What a mess.
It's not even been 10 minutes. And so, why are we starting with so much drama? Good lord.
If I could have everybody's attention, the trial is about to begin. Will the defendants and their attorney please make their way into the courtroom?
Honestly, I just really wanted to see this performance because, man, oh man, the drama was spicy. I even got it on my, shit, my phone, fucking, oh Jesus, see, I'm gonna take a picture, on my new, Hoof DS and just, you know, I got this, I got all this on my, I got this joke sucks.
Deep breaths, Athena.
Mom's spaghetti.
Mom, spaghetti!
Just believe in yourself.
Cute.
Okay?
Thanks, you guys.
And now we start the trial. And also, don't mind if I actually just start eating. Have some food to keep myself up to watch this fucking movie. So, don't mind if I just start eating food in the middle of this thing. Oh. No. No, you can't. No, you can't do that. You can't just throw a fuck ton of nostalgia at me like that. You can't. You fucking can't. The courtroom looks beautiful, by the way. No, like, oh. Yo, no, The fucking, you can't just throw a bunch of Dual Destinies fan service at me. You can't just do that. Like, look at this. That's great. That is fantastic for an opening sequence. I'm getting chills.
Court is now in session for the trial of
Despio!
Page. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
Where is the prosecutor?
Weird. The prosecution is missing. Wait, why is the judge still here?
They never send him back. I mean, why not? He's a good judge. Side note. I also have the court record open. It's in a different tab, like right over here. I have the court record, and I have all the evidence and profiles. I know what I would do in like Danganronpa and stuff like that. I would review all of the evidence that we have so that I could play alongside, see what goes where. But I think I'm gonna do it mostly blind. I mean, I will check the court record when things need to be checked, but you know, we're just gonna take it as it is.
I truly do love it here in Equestria. After I'm done with today's trial, I plan on doing some sightseeing for a few days before I head back home. I know I said I wasn't interested before, but I'm thinking of checking out that race Prince Blueblood mentioned.
Really?
I'll admit, I don't Princess Twilight.
Oh, good. Oh, fantastic.
I greatly appreciate me.
Oh, good. This is great.
Let you know, Your Honor.
So, why are you here exactly, Your Honor? In court, I mean.
Well, actually, it was Princess Celestia who asked me to preside over this trial.
Interesting.
Wait, Princess Celestia asked you?
I'm sorry, Miss Sparkle, but I'm afraid I don't have that answer. The letter I received simply asked if I would be willing to preside over the trial, and I agreed.
That's odd. Wasn't that supposed to be one of Princess Celestia's
That is true.
abilities?
Celestia was supposed to preside over the trial, at least from what I remember. Or that was like the thought process, like she was going to preside over the trial. But I mean, the judge is still here, so again, I'm not too worried about that.
Prosecution, I have still yet to hear your answer. Are you ready?
Yeah, where is she?
Answer? I'd settle for just seeing them.
If the prosecution is not prepared, then it would appear that I will have to postpone the trial until they arrive.
I thought... Was that how that worked? I thought if the prosecution failed to appear, then the trial would be null. I guess. Either that or the defense would automatically... The prosecutor is essentially called forfeit. Isn't that how that works? I mean, I could be wrong. I thought that if the prosecution failed to show up to trial, then the defendant would be pronounced innocent because the prosecution failed to deliver any kind of meaningful answer and also wasted the court's time. From what I remember, anyway. I don't know if that was a thing in the games. I don't remember if it was a thing in the games. I also don't know if that's a thing in real life. That might be the case. I'm not sure.
Court is...
Oh, she's here.
My apologies, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready.
Luna!
About time.
Wait, what? Huh? No.
Wait.
No, what? Luna's the what?
Does that mean...
What? Why?
And who might you...
Why Luna?
I am Princess Luna. A pleasure to meet you, Your Honor.
What?
Princess?
Oh, yes. I do recall receiving a message that the original prosecutor for this case chose to allocate their duties...
Okay.
Regardless, that is no excuse to be late to court, Princess.
Just prosecutor will do, Your Honor. And I understand. My sincerest apologies.
God.
A colleague of mine had something they wished to discuss with me, and so it delayed my arrival. Nevertheless, the prosecution is now prepared.
Fucking Luna, huh?
Well.
That name, though, it sounds familiar.
It should. She's Princess Celestia's sister.
Okay, relax. Just focus on the case. Still, something about her appearance. Have I seen her somewhere before?
Did Luna show up?
Twilight have... Twilight?
And her mouth's agape.
It is my duty to uphold the laws of Equestria. I am still fulfilling that duty.
It's just business, pal.
As I may be prosecuting, but of course, being the clever pony that you are, I'm sure you could have guessed that.
Oh man. Oh god. Luna's the fucking prosecutor. That threw me for a loop.
As for you, defense, I was hoping that the Blue Phoenix would stand against me.
Everyone's just like, man. Everyone's like, man, Athena sucks.
My case and the case from 2 days ago were certainly admirable, twice proving there was no murder in our peaceful country. So, imagine my surprise when I learned that you would be the lead on this case instead. You, whom I have only heard of in hearsay and whispers that began spreading after the trial.
Oh no.
I look forward to seeing if you can hold yourself up to the same standards that the Blue Phoenix has set.
You'll see. I will live up to his example.
She's fucking mortified.
Blue and Turning Page are as good.
She's look at Widget. She's mortified out of her mind.
Is that so?
Oh my god.
Wonderful to hear.
She is fucking terrified.
Let us resume this trial. Prosecutor Luna.
Awesome.
You may make your opening.
Oh god, that's fun. This is fun.
All right, let's do this. Ready, Twilight? Twilight?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Right, let's get this started.
Today's proceedings shall center around the murder of Royal Order, who had just returned home.
Fucking music, what is this?
He was a member of the Royal Guard.
What? The guard's body was killed? Not just killed, he was murdered. What does this mean? Are we still safe?
What does this mean?
Rest assured, my little ponies, that there is no cause for alarm. We anticipated this
Title drop.
public's reaction to this news. That is why we withheld this.
I can't wait for her to use the Royal Canterlot voice eventually. They have to.
Private Eye mentioned something about keeping the victim's identity a secret from the public.
Alright. Okay, so we got time of death, 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. Cause of death, stab wound to the right temple, so like here, right up in his noggin. Death was instant. Several post-mortem stab wounds found at the same spot. So he was stabbed and killed, and then whatever stabbed him, or potentially something else, kept stabbing him after the fact. So something stabbed him after he was already dead. Large bruises, because it says several, not just putting it back in and just shoving it back in there. No, it's like multiple times. It's fine. Large bruise on left side of torso, ante-mortem. I assume that means before death. Large bruise on left side of torso before he was killed, which I assume they figured it out based off of how the autopsy went out. Under effects of poison joke, weak knees. So he had poison joke on him, which gave him weak knees. So his knees gave out, so he probably... Ooh. I knew the poison joke would play into it somehow. I mean, unless Sweetie Belle is under the effects of poison joke, which is causing her to lie, maybe that could be the case. Although I'm pretty sure she's doing it to save her skin. But if that was the case, it would be like again, like in Danganronpa with fucking Nagito under the effects of whatever the disease that they used to cause him to lie all the time. Okay. So I guess we also now know that Princess fucking Luna Princess fucking Luna, there she is, one of the two rulers of Equestria and the prosecutor assigned to this case. A forceful pony whose behavior seems to mask an unknown agenda. Fucking Luna.
The time of death is estimated to be on the evening of February 12th between 9:30 p.m.
They bumped up the animation quality. I do appreciate that.
10:30 p.m. All subsequent stabs the victim suffered were post-mortem.
In other words, the only thing we need to be concerned with is figuring out how the victim suffered his initial stab wound. That's what killed him.
Additionally, we discovered a large bruise on the left side of the victim's torso, indicating that he was struck by some sort of object. However, unlike the subsequent stab wounds, the victim received this bruise before he died.
I see.
What I'm still wondering is, why did the killer stab the victim in the head of all places? That's way too bizarre to not be important.
There's still one more point in this autopsy report that confuses me, though.
I assume you're referring to the affliction the victim was suffering?
Yeah, poison joke.
That's correct.
In the case of Royal Order, the affliction he suffered was weak knees. Ironic that a member of the Royal Guard would be afflicted with a condition that makes it difficult to stand tall.
Yeah, it's an irony. It's an irony plant.
As for the body itself, it was discovered at the foot of the bridge leading to the castle of the two sisters. As you can see on this diagram, the castle ruins lie at the very end of the path that cuts through the Everfree Forest. We also have an additional diagram here that gives us a closer look at the crime scene itself. The X we've marked on here is represented.
This music is really good.
The body was at the time of its discovery.
It's really good.
Lastly, the prosecution wishes to submit this photo of the crime scene to the court. The victim's body had already been removed for autopsy by the time it was taken, but we laid out tape to mark its exact positioning.
Very well. The court accepts the diagrams and photo as evidence.
Alright.
It is rather difficult for me to believe that these two children would do something like this, though. Not to mention the fact that one of the two standing accused is the victim's own son. You'd better have some pretty substantial evidence to back up your claims, Prosecutor Luna. These are children's lives at stake.
Trust me, Your Honor. It brings me no pleasure to prosecute these young souls. However, justice must still be served. In the eyes of the law, every pony is equal. Age is a non-issue. I trust that you, too, know this, and will remain impartial in your judgment.
Alright. So it seems that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still get caught for murder in Equestria. That's an interesting take, to be honest. It makes sense though, because I mean this land is mostly peacekeeping, so it doesn't surprise me that it went this route.
What is your stance regarding the charges filed against your clients?
Not guilty.
Your Honor, we stand by our plea of not guilty.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call the detective.
Oh hey, Detective Layton, Private Eye's coming to the stand.
Very well.
All right, Private Eye's up first then. Hopefully he doesn't say anything too damaging.
He probably will. He didn't tell us what he was hiding.
Witness?
Wait,
please.
Was that Hat Kid? Wait a minute. I'm almost positive I know exactly who would have called for that. Is that fucking Pony Hat Kid? Fucking Pony Hat Kid in the stand. Thespio is also in the background. Alright, you're gonna have some fucking quirky little, Phoenix and Apollo are right over there. There's some fucking quirky little background characters. And Derpy and Thespio, I think I recognize her. I don't know. Fucking, you think I didn't notice the fucking Hat Kid? Me? Someone who's obsessed with that fucking game? Think I didn't notice that little bit of Hat in Time reference? No, never. Can't escape me with that shit. Down with the mafia! Okay, I'm gonna continue the thing now.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the record.
My name is Private Eye, Princess. Detective. And might I say, good morning to everyone present. Princess Twilight, Miss Sykes, my lord.
Good morning.
Lord.
Gentlemen.
I could get used to that.
Good.
We've already lost him.
Fucking good. Okay, now I need to know who the fuck else is in the background. Is that supposed to be Vriska in the bottom left? I don't think so. Just got... No, it's 9, not 8. I almost want to say AC Racebest is next to Durfee, but I can't tell. Bonbon is next to Thespio, and I don't know what the 3 in the front are. The one on the right of Hat Kid looks like an OC. The one below them looks like Button's mom if she was a kid. And then if I go to the other side, I see... Oh, is that the fucking girl from... That's the, Okay, so in my little investigations, if we're going far back to another MLP-related Ace Attorney thing, my little investigations had this character from... I think she was from a different... She was from a different part of Equestria, I believe, and she came to visit Ponyville, and she was kind of foreign. I think that's supposed to be her. I don't remember her name at all, but like Twilight briefly talked with her, and I only remember this because I like at some point I haphazardly rewatched my series of it, only like parts of it because I just kind of felt nostalgic for it. It's not very good, and I played it with my friend Rob, but I mean it's there, it's on the channel if you really want to see it. Rest in peace. Anything past case 1?
The victim royal order was stationed in Camelot until late afternoon on the day of his murder. After his shift ended, he boarded a train and arrived in Ponyville at around 9:15 that night.
Okay.
On his return home, he was informed of Turning's whereabouts and decided to head into the Everfree Forest to find him.
Okay.
Arrived at the base of the bridge, in front of the castle of the two sisters. He was ambushed and murdered.
Okay. How do you know that information? Well, I guess he's gonna explain it if we press.
That turning page had gone off into the forest with Scootaloo that night for currently unknown reasons.
The other thing I can do too, because I'm currently watching this on my editing laptop, and I have another laptop which just turned on, which is how you still have the bright light. I could be just staring at the evidence while I'm watching this, so I can like point to specific things on the screen, but at the same time, I can just cross-reference the evidence. Because I have my recording device over here, and the computer here, so, you know, I'm all fancy now. Look at me.
He was trying to save his son.
I see. You'd certainly need a very good reason to be willing to head that far into the forest.
What was Turning doing?
That place is filled with all kinds of dangerous creatures, isn't it?
It is indeed, Your Honor. It was the statement of one Miss Devotion that cleared the
Fair Devotion.
Miss Devotion? She certainly sounds like a very kind, hard-working mare.
Oh?
She was home.
You have nothing to say on that, Luna.
It was she who told him the turning page had gone into the forest that night.
So, the reason the victim went into the forest was to chase after his son?
That is what the evidence and statement currently point to, yes.
It's hard to argue against that. I guess in that case...
Yeah, we gotta press.
See what other information I can draw.
We definitely gotta press.
Now, Miss Sykes, you may begin your cross-examination.
Right, well, I have all the evidence in front of me, too. Guess I need to cross-check everything. Anything, rather. Alright, let's press.
What was he doing there?
He was performing his routine duties as a guard. Nothing out of the ordinary.
What did those duties entail?
Monitoring doors, patrolling hallways, the standard fare.
So he was just your average, everyday guard?
I suppose you could say that, yes.
There was nothing special about his rank, his title, anything at all?
Nothing that would...
Well, as a detective, I can only know so much. What do you think, Princess Luna?
It's just as Detective I says. As someone who gave the victim his orders, I can say with certainty that there was nothing that set him apart from the other guards in our entourage. If you're looking for a motive defense, I'm sorry to say that you will not find it here.
There you have it. You couldn't ask for a clearer answer than that.
Shoot. I was really hoping I would get that.
Damn it.
If it's an ordinary guard, then that eliminates any potential motive that could be tied to his rank.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, is what her reason behind that.
Private Eye shifted my question to Princess Luna. Something still doesn't seem right here.
Defense, please stop staring at the witness and continue your cross-examination.
Oh, fuck. Oops. I muted it. God damn.
Continue.
They actually... Oh, that's fucking funny. Yeah, because yeah, she's just literally just like, like we see what she's talking about, but she's literally just standing there, just staring at him. It's like that fucking Caleb City sketch about like the detective, the partner in a detective anime. I know it's a side tangent, and I'm already like almost an hour into the fucking recording, but it's like Caleb goes into this investigation, and he's like, well, the killer might have been over here, and he's just thinking all this stuff in his head while the partner's like, wait, what are you doing? I'm right here. What'd you find out? And he's just... And it gets to the point where the guy gets so fucking annoyed where he's just like, stop ignoring me, I'm right here. Oh, that video is so good. I suggest you follow Caleb City. His sketches are amazing. Anyway, back to this. Sorry. I have a lot to say. Fantastic.
To look into that later. Gotta continue pressing the detective for information.
Defense, please stop staring at the witness.
He boarded a train and arrived.
Or at the detective, rather.
9:15 that night.
How long had he stayed in Canterlot?
Nearly a month, according to our findings.
This fellow seemed like quite the workaholic.
Says the guy working on his vacation.
His death will surely echo a great sense of loss for both his country and those close to him.
That's odd. That sounded a lot more sorrowful than anything I would expect from Private Eye.
According to our investigation into the ticket purchases and train schedules for February 12th...
He's an Earth pony, right?
...in Ponyville at 9:15. He then headed straight home, arriving about 10 minutes...
So 9:10. So 20 minutes before his death. And he's an Earth pony, right? So there's no way he could, like, fly.
His return home,
I believe so.
he was informed of Turning's...
I can look at the profiles right now, actually.
...to head into the Everfree Forest to find him.
No, he's a unicorn.
So,
alright.
it's Fair Devotion who told the victim that Turning Page had gone into the forest?
Indeed. We found a note written in Turning's handwriting confessing to his actions that night. Miss Devotion knew where her son had gone because of this note.
Alright.
Went to the Everfree Forest. Be back soon. Succinct and straight to the point. Just what I would expect from Turning. If Miss Devotion was the one who discovered this note, why didn't she go after him as soon as she found it?
As you said yourself, the Everfree Forest is a dangerous place. She reluctantly complied and watched him leave at around 9:30. That was the last time she ever saw him.
Wow.
Oh, that sounds rather ominous. Like something right out of a horror movie.
Yeah, that's rough.
Any stops on his way to the forest?
I beg your pardon?
I'm just wondering if it's possible that the victim went somewhere else before entering the Everfree Forest.
I'm afraid we neglected to look into this matter, so I cannot say anything for certain.
The forest entrance is roughly 20 minutes away from the victim's house.
But what about... We found a place where there's a bunch of blood, right? And it wasn't the victim's? Right? Bloodstain. I'm looking at the bloodstain statue right now. The blood does not belong to the victim. All visible traces of bloodstain were removed except for a small pool behind the statue. Okay. So that won't be relevant at all right now.
The crime scene is about 35 minutes away from the entrance. The body was discovered at 10:30 p.m. Do the math, attorney. Do you really think the victim could have dawdled before entering the forest?
Well, not so fast, Prosecutor Luna.
Twilight?
What is it, Miss Sparkle?
Okay, hang on. Now I'm curious. Well, okay, so Gen 3 Pinky is all the way off in the corner of here, and this one looks like Cleopatra, though I have no idea who that one is. Lyra is over here, and then I can't tell what the other ponies are from there. Also, is that supposed to be Colgate? I forget her name, but she's like toothpaste pony or some shit. And then, you know, I obviously saw these two like right out the gate.
Did he, by any chance, know how to teleport?
That's right. I have to keep in mind that this is a world of magic. Not everything here follows the rules of my own world.
Royal Order was an incredibly gifted user.
Ooh, this is good to know.
So, if he could teleport, then the time it would have taken the victim to travel between locations is irrelevant. Wouldn't you say?
We could not find any indication that the victim had ever been to the castle of the two sisters before this incident. The best we could uncover were multiple instances of him and his son going to Froggy Bottom Bog to spar with the monsters that inhabit the area.
Froggy Bottom Bog, huh?
I know that place.
That place yesterday?
I mentioned it before. It was where Pinky fought the Hydra.
Roads, isn't it?
So, you can see it here on the map we drew of the forest. If one
Yep, right south.
They would first have to travel to the crossroads to get there.
His son had gone off into the Everfree Forest alone at night. Do you really think he'd waste time delaying his entrance into the forest? It's not like he could have known exactly where his son was.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of hard to believe that Royal Order would have risked his son's safety by taking a detour, given what we've heard about him so far.
Yep.
Twilight?
It's very hard to believe.
Yes.
Unfortunately, none. Knowing that the victim had a half-hour period where he could act freely without heading to the crime scene, I think that might be something we'll want to keep in mind.
Keep it in the back of your head.
Miss Sparkle, if you aren't done whispering over there, then let's continue with the testimony.
Yeah, the judge is taking nobody's shit today.
Base of the bridge.
Yeah, ambushed by what?
Was ambushed?
it was the bruise on the left side of his body. We believe that the assailant first delivered the blow to his torso in order to knock the victim to the ground. This was then followed up by at least 2 stabs to the head, the first of which must have killed the victim. If the victim had been on guard at the time, there isn't a chance some pony of his caliber would have been knocked down so easily. That is why we believe he was taken by surprise.
But walking through that...
They must have used poison joke.
...in the middle of the night, wouldn't the victim have been on guard regardless?
Again, I think he must have interacted with poison joke at some point. Either that or they gave it to him to make him stumble and not have him, you know, be up like that.
Weak knees!
Exactly.
I forgot about her shocked face! Oh my god, I forgot about her shocked face!
One of the defendants has a sword?
It's a wooden sword. Yeah.
No need to worry. I have it right here. The prosecution contends that the sword broke when it was used to attack the victim.
I see. That's definitely a strong possibility.
No. Yeah, object to that.
That's not how the sword broke.
Oh?
Yes, it's true that the sword is broken right now, but that's because...
Objection!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Before you explain it to us, defense, I would like you to tell us from where you learned this alternate interpretation.
Also, wait, I know exactly where that text is from, I think. That just looks like an altered version of, Baron von Zeke's objection. Actually, it just looks like a fucking lunified version of his objection. Either that or they genuinely took this text to make it an objection for her. Either way, we got that from Turning Page, I'm pretty sure. Either Turning Page or Scootaloo. So she's gonna say that that's an unreliable fucking witness. I bet you.
Unless you have some proof to back up his story, I think you do well to keep it to yourself for now.
Huh? For now?
Wait, what do you mean for now?
More definitive evidence may yet prove our claim to be false. At the moment, however, this interpretation of the facts surrounding the sword is the most likely scenario.
The court agrees with the prosecution.
Oh, I know that's not how it happened. That sword broke when Turning used it to attack those blackmailing bullies. But unless I can...
But we don't have any proof of that.
I'm not going to be able to convince anyone.
What was used to stab the victim?
The scooter.
Boy, here
we go. The scooter.
Possession belonging to the other defendant, Miss Scootaloo. She stabbed him using her scooter.
A scooter? How is that even possible? Scooters aren't sharp, are they?
Not normally, my lord.
The more I listen, the more it seems like these 2 kids really did commit this crime.
As regrettable as it is to think so, the evidence certainly points to that conclusion. The victim arrived on the scene and was ambushed by his son, Turning Page. He used his sword to hit his father's left side.
But what's his motive?
Caused the sword to break.
But what's his motive? But what would be his motive to attack and kill his own father? And what would be Scootaloo's motive?
Thanks to the poison joke affliction that the victim was suffering at the time, he couldn't resist the impact and was knocked to the ground. At that point, the other assailant, Scootaloo, rushed to the victim's side.
But why?
Multiple times in the scooter before he could even react to what was happening.
Why? Why?
What happened, given the evidence so far.
But why?
Wait a second. I think there might be a contradiction in the sequence of events.
What, hang on. The fact that Scootaloo came in after and stabbed him multiple times with the scooter? I'm pretty sure, well, yeah, well, riding it would not mean anything. Hold on, let me bring it up on the main screen here. Because if I look at the scooter, like, the left handle is missing and the exposed metal bolt is covered in the victim's blood. The front wheels are also dented, making riding the scooter impossible. If that's what Athena is getting at, and that she couldn't have used the scooter to kill him because the scooter his wheels were dented and couldn't be ridden. I think that could be easily contradicted with she could just carry it. Jeez, I don't know. I don't know what it could be. I think she's gonna try to go for the scooter though, if I were to take a guess.
Don't doubt yourself, Athena.
Twilight?
If you think there's a contradiction, then go for it. I'll be right here with you.
The victim was knocked to the ground and then stabbed before he could even react.
Stabbed before he could even react.
There's a contradiction in your testimony.
Wait a minute. Stabbed before he could react. I don't know what could stop that though. Oh! Wait, no, I don't know. Unless getting hit on your left side would topple you down. If he got hit on his left side, how would his right temple be exposed, I guess? I don't know.
Oh?
I don't know what the contradiction is.
Yes, enlighten us, defense. What is this supposed contradiction?
Right.
Okay, Luna.
It's written here in the autopsy report. Cause of death was a single stab wound to the right temple that caused immediate death, followed by at least one more post-mortem.
It does say that,
yeah.
Yes, but I fail to see how this contradicts the witness's testimony.
Well, Your Honor, it's simple. If the victim was first knocked to the ground by a blow to his left side, as Private Eye claims, then tell me that
okay, so it is what I was thinking.
the side of the victim's head would be facing up.
Because that entirely depends. Like, if he was hit to the left side, like, then the left side would be up. Unless he was hit, and then fell backwards and timbered this way, which could easily happen because of his weak knees. He could be imbalanced and fall down this way. I get the logic. It's like you hit him on the side, he's gonna lean over this way, but I feel like that's very light, though. I feel like it's a very light contradiction.
Well, that would be the left side, wouldn't it? Oh!
Exactly, Your Honor. Stab him in the right temple.
Ah.
I'm waiting for the objection.
Order! Order! That's certainly a puzzling contradiction.
I don't know if it's that strong, though.
Possibly have been stabbed in the right temple if he were in that
No.
position. Prosecutor Luna, any thoughts?
You certainly pose an interesting dilemma, defense. Are you implying that the victim was first stabbed in the head and then hit in the torso?
No.
It would certainly help your case if you were.
No. Two things. Not only does that completely contradict the autopsy report, but also doesn't make sense logistically, because if the right temple was up and he was laying on the ground, how the hell would you hit him from the left side when it's covered by dirt? Like, unless you rolled him over, but then there'd be blood there, right? Where his head was. And they found him face up. So, unless they rolled him over, slammed him on the side, and then rolled him back, like, God, no. Don't fall for it.
I'm implying here.
No.
Could the victim have been?
Don't fall for it, Athena. Don't fall for it. It's a trap.
Can't be it, Athena. Think back to
Yeah.
the autopsy report one more time.
You're right, Twilight. The victim suffered a large bruise on the left side of his torso ante-mortem. He was hit before he was killed.
Wait,
Since
but
the autopsy report notes that the victim was instantly killed
Wait.
with the first stab wounds.
But
that means it would have been impossible for the victim to have been struck
Athena.
in the torso after he was stabbed.
Athena, you just proved the prosecution.
I did it! I managed to find a flaw in the prosecution's case.
No, you didn't.
Way to go, Athena.
No, you didn't.
Let's see how the princess tries to get out of
No,
this
you
one.
didn't.
Prosecutor Luna, do you have an explanation for this seemingly unexplainable contradiction?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Can explain it?
There are two explanations that can clear them all up. The first is a rather simple one. After the victim was struck, he fell onto something sharp, and it pierced his head, killing him.
This murder could very well have been an accident in that case. But then, wouldn't the object that took the victim's life still be at the scene?
Hmm.
You would have found it there, wouldn't you?
It wasn't there.
The culprit took it away in a panic or in fear. Irregularities were discovered during the examination, which indicates that it's possible 2 different items could have stabbed the victim.
I see. Which would mean the culprit is...
Indeed, Your Honor.
Turning Page.
The evidence, as it stands, suggests that Turning Page was the one who knocked the victim over. Do you wish to argue that this was all an accident, perpetrated by Turning Page alone?
You're going up against the wrong person if you think you can manipulate me into saying what you want, Princess.
Major gaslighting vibes.
To argue that this was what happened, I could get Turning Page's sentence reduced significantly, and Scootaloo would be off the hook completely.
No.
Is that what I should do?
No.
You did say you'd be willing to take the blame for this?
No. Don't throw him under the bus like that. No.
He's looking at me. Is he trying to tell me to let him take the fall? But if I do that, then...
No.
I'm not sure what to do here, Twilight. The way things are going, I could very easily get Scootaloo off the hook and turning a light prison sentence.
Complete acquittal.
That
always.
Everything turn out just as Turning asked back in the defendant lobby.
Complete acquittal.
I think I should do that. If I do, that'll just mean we're admitting that Turning killed his own father, and that will undoubtedly have a severe effect on him. His family, his peers, they'd never look at him or treat him the same way again.
Complete acquittal.
Life.
Complete acquittal.
Turning seems to be satisfied with that.
Well, I'm not. I don't care if he thinks it'd be a good thing to do. Because it isn't. I'm supposed to look out for both his and Scootaloo's best interest, and him taking the blame isn't what she wants. So if Luna's got some sort of trap waiting for me, bring it on. I'll never admit that either of them had anything to do with the Royal Order's death.
If you're done whispering to your co-counsel, then tell us. Do you intend to argue that this murder was, in fact, an accident?
What do you mean whisper? She literally yelled, I'm not gonna call him guilty in any way. Like, she yelled that. What do you mean whisper?
The defense's stance is simply this. We assert that neither Scootaloo nor Turning Page had any hand, or hoof, rather, in this murder.
I thought you might say that. How ambitious of you, little golden pixie.
Golden pixie?
If that's the case, then you are admitting that the second explanation for our autopsy contradiction is the correct one?
Yes. Of course.
That there are 2 different weapons?
As soon as I figure out what that is.
Oh, she never explained it. God, she's good. Omission? She omits all of the information right before it's necessary. Fucking Edgeworthing it hard.
The solution is simple. He did react. When he was knocked over, he must have lifted his head.
Ooh.
Once he did, he's...
Well... But then by that, okay. Alright, well, if we're going off of that... then he turned his head to see Turning, which means... Actually, shit, no, he still could have gotten stabbed there.
Then this is the only other possibility that fits the evidence. Just look over the evidence again, and I'm sure you'll realize you're fighting on the wrong side of the...
Alright, I will look over the evidence.
I'm fighting on the wrong side. Why did Luna say that? Was that supposed to be...
The wrong side?
Come on, think, Athena, think!
Crime scene.
On the wrong side. Fighting on the wrong side.
Were they on the wrong side of the...
The evidence?
Are they on the wrong side of the bridge? Because I'm looking at the bridge. Right, that's the only thing I can think of right now. Are you talking about where the crime happened? Like, instead of it happening here, it happened here? Is that what she's implying? See, okay, normally I would play this like I would the games, but like I'm genuinely confused.
Yeah, there's also timber wolves. Oh, could one of the timber wolves? Okay, so if he was stabbed by something else, could one of the timber wolves pieces have killed him and then was removed because it formed into a timber wolf? Because the wood would do that? Question mark? I mean, the blood is still on the scooter, so that could still be the murder weapon. I don't know. I don't know.
Shows that I'm fighting on the wrong? I've got it! Objection! Your Honor, there's no way the murder could have played out the way the prosecution is claiming it did. Let's look back at the photo of the crime scene.
Focusing.
I don't understand.
Yes, but think back to the earlier theory. The victim was...
Oh! Yeah, no, it was what I was talking about earlier then! Yeah, instead of him getting knocked down and then he got knocked down and like, what? Wait, I was right? Alright!
His torso and was knocked to the ground.
Okay.
If he was hit on the left side, then his right side should have been what hit the ground, right?
Yes, I suppose so.
And yet, in this photo,
he's on his left.
You can clearly see the victim fell on his left side.
Oh, you're right. Order! Order! Do you have an explanation for this after all?
Perhaps we should allow the one who brought this to our attention an opportunity to explain it first.
Me?
Who else?
Well, it would mean that whoever killed him must have moved the body from somewhere else and placed it down incorrectly. I don't know if that was by accident or on purpose, but the body had to have been moved.
And why should the explanation be as simple as the victim himself having rolled over after being hit?
Weak knees. This doesn't feel... I don't know. This doesn't feel right to me. Like, this is the first contradiction. This still doesn't feel right to me.
There's no doubt that the victim must have fallen over when he was hit. His legs were far too weak to support him after suffering the blow to his side.
So, how's that for an answer, Prosecutor Lee?
But that doesn't really...
The victim's body was moved after he was killed. That's the only way he could have ended up being found with the left side of his body facing...
I don't know, it doesn't feel right to me.
The only way? Are you sure about that?
Ay, caramba. What now?
I don't know. That first contradiction didn't feel like anything to me. Like, that just kind of felt like we're like just going through the ropes. It didn't feel like a major contradiction at all. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's because, okay, maybe it's because, like, yeah, logic states if you're hit on one side, you're gonna fall to the other. But, like, why can't it just be explained that he just got hit on the side and then keeled over and went to the left? They're really focusing on this whole he was hit from one side and fell to the other side. Like he was a fucking tree. I don't know. Wait, alright. If that's what they're going with, I'll follow alongside.
Fall on his right side. However, when the body was discovered, the victim was found to have fallen on his left side. Between the time the victim fell over and the time the body was discovered, the victim must have moved to account for this change in positioning.
Or he was nudged over, or something else pushed him to the side, not bruising him, but he fell on something on his left side when he fell. That's another possibility. Not sponsored. Yeah, say he's standing up like this. If he instead... and his left side is here. So, yeah, they're saying he got hit here and fell over. But what if he instead was pushed? He was kicking from behind, pushed, and landed on something on his left side, causing the bruise, and he also ends up on his left side. And then also, right here to get stabbed in the face. Like, why... Like, I feel like there's also that possibility, and she's completely ignoring that.
The victim was knocked over after he was hit. But who's to say that's also when he died?
You mean?
Yes, I do. The victim was not stabbed when he was knocked to the ground. Instead, after he was knocked over, he managed to stand himself back up. After an unspecified amount of time, he was then stabbed in the right temple, which caused him to fall over onto his left side.
Order! Order in the court! If the body was moved, who moved it, why, and from where?
Those are all, really good questions, Your Honor.
Oh, why thank you, Miss Sykes. I have been doing this for quite some time, you know.
Something missing from the crime scene?
The murder weapon.
Everything's here, isn't it? The scooter that stabbed the victim, the body itself, the
golden fabric is there.
The body that was stabbed is there. But there's something else that should be there, but
yeah.
This is it.
The murder weapon?
The defense has evidence to counter the prosecution's claims.
She's also trying to help Athena.
Then please show it to us, Miss
I see what she's trying to do.
Look at this photo one more time.
Yeah, the scooter's upright.
The grave contradiction contained within it.
Oh, the handle! Duh! The broken handle from the scooter. I think.
Contradiction? Where?
Where's the broken handle?
Here, Your Honor. Take that! Look at the area near the head of the victim.
Oh, there's no blood.
Prosecution's theory. Then the victim would have fallen in the place he was stabbed.
Yeah, there's no blood.
However, if that was the case, then there should be a pool of blood around the victim's head.
Yes, there should be.
An area that should be caked in blood has no trace of it whatsoever.
It was probably cleaned up then.
If the crime scene lacks even a drop of blood to speak of, that casts significant doubt over whether the victim was stabbed there at all.
The body was moved.
Obvious. The victim's body was moved from somewhere else to the castle ruins.
Interesting claim, Golden Pixie. It's a shame that it's completely flawed.
How?
Blood? How?
True, there doesn't appear to be any blood on the scene right now. But once I bring my next witness to the stand, that tune of yours will surely change.
Let the prosecution's next witness take the stand.
What? She's right there. She's not dead. Well, thank God. I was worried that she would be dead, and that would be an entirely huge problem, but it's not. All right, let's continue.
My name is Zakora, an apothecary. I make my home in the Everfree.
You live?
That's a slant rhyme if I've ever heard one.
Zebra?
Oh, right. I guess I forgot to mention that, didn't I?
You and Apple Bloom both. I just noticed that she's rhyming. Oh boy. I really hope that this doesn't mean what I think it might.
Let's get back on topic.
Of course, Your Honor. I shall speak. I'm sorry for this tale is bleak.
Voice actress is really good for her. Should also point out that the voice actress for Scootaloo or Sweetie Belle this time around, good. Very good.
That evening, I was tending to the plants near my home. Two little ponies passed, heading towards the castle dome. For a while I waited, but return they did not, so I chose to head home at an agile trot. But soon I heard a strange far-off sound. I ran to where those ponies were bound. On my way, a small shadow my eyes did track, but it jumped away before I could react. Upon arrival, what met my gaze I'll not forget for all my days. A pony's body, still with blood around his head, turning earth to mud. Once I was sure that he was dead, to the police I quickly fled.
Turning earth to mud.
Can life cut me a break already? You saw blood on the ground around the body?
Of all the life that he had bled, a ring of red lay around his head.
Objection! That's impossible.
Do you have something that can explain this contradiction, Prosecutor Luna?
Of course, Your Honor. I accompanied them to the crime scene, and they found it in exactly the same state as she just described, the victim lying in a pool of his own blood. I have here a photograph of that very scene.
You're right.
Well, that's very gruesome for one. Oh, no. Are you sure? Are you sure? Hang on. Are you sure this isn't? Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Because there's a bloodstain behind the statue that looks suspiciously similar to this, and that's not his blood, so he was still moved. That could have still been him being moved, because we know where that dried pool of blood is. That's behind the statue in the Evergreen Forest. So this only proves that this was not at the crime scene.
Why was it gone the next day?
It's not gone.
Become clear soon enough.
And what is this?
It's a cape, Your Honor. The emblem on it denotes it as belonging to the Cutie Mark Crusaders.
Great wickering stallions!
Great suffering succotash!
Upon testing it, we found that it was absolutely drenched in the victim's blood.
Yeah, I think...
The cape was covered in blood?
You mean someone tried to clean up the crime scene?
I can't imagine that to be the case. Going by where this cape was found, I'd say there's another, more likely possibility.
Where was it found?
This cape was discovered underneath the victim's body.
This is a good song, by the way.
Under his head.
Ooh.
That pool of blood Zecora saw?
It appears as though the little golden pixie has figured it out. When the police went to examine the blood, they discovered that it wasn't blood at all. It was actually this cape right here.
So, she was on the wrong track all along.
Looks like it. Yep.
Now you understand?
Was that supposed to be Big Mac?
The fact that there was no blood at the scene is completely irrelevant. After all, it was the police themselves who removed it. It's clear that the body was never moved. The scene of the crime was undoubtedly at the...
No, it was moved.
The blood on this cape proves it.
No.
And, as luck would have it, I have one more piece of information that will crush the defense's rebuttal once and for all.
No, please, no more.
Oh.
Upon examining the area where the cape lay, thanks to forensic spell testing, we discovered traces of blood underneath the area around the victim's head. It seems as if the cape absorbed more blood than it could handle, and some of it leaked through to the ground below. Further testing of this blood revealed that it belonged to the victim.
The court accepts.
I need to examine them. Crime scene photo 2. And the bloodstained cape. Mistook this cape for an actual bloodstain. Alright, well, I mean, I still think that it was moved still, because again, that lining up, that body lines up really well with the bloodstain that's still in the fucking forest. So I think the body was still moved. There might have been like trace amounts of blood left there, but they tried to clean up the... Again, this puddle, I don't think this was at the crime scene. I think this was in the forest. I think this was in the... Absolutely, this was in the forest. Because it matches up way too well. But there's no way to prove that.
Defense? Care to share your thoughts on the matter?
Because that blood isn't the victim, so that blood could have just been put on after the fact. I don't know. There's too many questions.
Not if I don't want to get held in contempt of court.
Oof.
Wait a second. If the victim was standing up when he was stabbed, then wouldn't it be impossible for...
Sykes! Do you you, or do you not, have any objections to the prosecutor's theory?
You bet I do.
You're lying at your ass again.
Defense.
Good.
Your Honor, the defense would like to point out a flaw in the prosecution's theory.
Then get on with it!
Yes, Your Honor. I would think stabbing an adult at such a height would be nearly impossible for a child. Correct?
Objection! You forget that the owner of that scooter is a Pegasus.
She can't fly. She can't fly. But fuck you. She can't fly.
Can't fly.
What? Prosecutor Luna? Is this true? If Miss Scootaloo can't fly,
She would know this too.
there's no way she could have stabbed a stallion in the head.
Luna definitely knows she can't fly.
Can I take you by surprise at least once in this trial?
That we're too early. You
What
can't.
the defense has said is absolutely true. I have the medical report from Scootaloo's doctor, right?
Wait, what? There's a what?
Contrary to Pegasus fillies her age, her wings haven't fully developed yet, and thus, she cannot fly.
Why were you arguing that she could have stabbed somewhere she couldn't even reach?
Now, when did I ever claim that?
Yeah, she didn't claim that specifically.
All I ever claimed was that some pony stabbed him whilst he was standing upright. If it wasn't possible for Scootaloo to have done so...
Turning page, because he's a Pegasus, or he's a unicorn, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-oh.
I knew exactly where she's going with this.
Talented unicorn for his age, even for colts and fillies. I'm sure he'd have no problem levitating the scooter up to his father's head.
That's stupid, though. That's really stupid. What?
Princess Luna, if you choose to claim that, then Scootaloo would have done nothing wrong. Am I right?
Well, she would have brought the scooter there to begin with.
If Turning Page was the one who assaulted his father, and then proceeded to stab him in the head with the scooter,
But-
then Scootaloo would be completely innocent. Nothing but a bystander at most. Am I right, Princess Luna?
But, no.
We shall see. First, I think it's time for the defense's cross-examination of our witness. We've been putting that off for long enough now.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that Zecora was even here.
Very well. Let us begin the...
So are we not getting that medical report? Not that it really matters. It's common knowledge for most people to know that she can't fly. Oh, geez, that's awesome. She's in Nightmare Moon. I don't think this is...
plants?
I don't think this is gonna go anywhere.
Plants must grow up strong, lest the potion turn out wrong.
We already know when the victim died. It was long after this witness was scouring the area for...
Yeah, 9:30 p.m., so...
wasting our time with these pointless questions and move on.
Well, at least I got some information. Not exactly sure how helpful it was, though.
He wasn't there in the morning, that's all we... Oh. Never mind, that did give us information. Really? That updated the poison joke? Natural growth is limited. The flowers in front of Zecora's hut were planted recently. So they were planted there after she got back, which would put that nowhere near. We just need to know when he got the poison joke too, like, because that will mean we know exactly where he was. Because poison joke doesn't happen instantly; it takes time for it to affect. I just don't know where it could have been and where he could have been to have walked in there. I know that for the most part, it's not relevant. It's one that's only relevant is the actual murder. But I feel like where he was with the poison joke is also going to become relevant at some point. So they were there.
Do you happen to see who they were?
Unless it was Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon.
But the filly was Miss Scootaloo.
They were going to settle the blackmail with Diamond and Silver Spoon. But I can't bring that up yet. It'll just be rejected outright.
These two ponies...
You have to get evidence first, or get proof first.
But not with his hooves, but with magic.
And what was that?
Magic?
It was a bolt of fabric.
As there was a roll of golden silk left behind in the wagon.
It would seem that...
I could see Rarity just like popping him, being like,
So the defendant's sword really was whole while heading to the scene.
And it then broke when he used it to attack the victim.
That's not entirely true.
That's seeming more and more likely.
Again, we know, yeah.
At some point here, I need to counter with how the sword really broke. I'm going to have to find it soon.
The truth will come out eventually.
I finished my work without singing a song, so I decided to head home and rest until I heard something that brought dread to my chest.
Which was the death, I assume?
But soon I heard a strange far-off sound. I ran to where those ponies were bound. I could hear it echo around, a strangely loud metallic sound.
You mean like a clang?
A clang?
It was a particular tone to hear, though clang does suit well with what reached my ear.
So that was the scooter breaking?
First a fabric roll, and now a clang? Similarities to the case from 2 days ago I should know about?
It might have been the scooter breaking.
Know when you heard this clang?
As soon as I heard it, I checked the time. It was 10:15 right on the dime.
And do you know where it came from?
So that's probably when the murder happened.
Not much to my shame. On my way, a small shadow my eyes did track, but it jumped away before I could react.
What's shadow?
A small shadow? Was there any detail about the shadow you could make out at all? Shape? Size? Anything?
Even in darkness, there was one distinct feature. At the very least, it seemed like a small creature.
Like a child?
When I came upon the former guard of the law, his stillness shocked me, not uplifted him.
Yeah.
Perhaps that shadow, of which I caught sight, was one of the children in mid-flight. The other could have simply hid while farewell to that scene I bid. But that's just one thought in my mind, since no other figures I did find.
You sure? There was nobody there at all? Maybe, hiding in the trees, or...
You're looking desperate, Athena.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Waiting for that line.
Double checking, now is there?
Witness, what happened?
Fantastic.
My sense of time dissolved amidst the thoughts of the crime.
Let's puzzle it out then, shall we? This puts the witness arriving there around 11:20 that night.
Those are some very nice calculations.
Yep, I totally paid attention to those.
Come on! Don't be that impressed.
I have here a report from that very station. It confirms that this witness notified the police of a body around that time.
Damn. So she did that entire thing just to show up with the actual evidence that said it. Meaning you didn't even need to do any of that.
Instead of casting doubt on her testimony, I just made it even more reliable.
Damn.
Come on. There's not a single contradiction. What am I supposed to do?
Enough! I believe we have reached the end of this
Oh
cross-examination.
boy.
Agreed, Your Honor.
Are you finished with this testimony?
Oh,
As
Jesus.
far as the court can see, there were no contradictions contained within it.
Twilight? Do you have any ideas?
Well, just one, but...
Great. What is it?
I don't think it's a good idea, though.
Well, just tell it to me anyway. We can decide together.
I don't think we have the time for that, Athena.
I don't think you do.
Just keep following the flow of the trial. Maybe something else will come up later that we can attack.
No, we can't just let this slide. This testimony is too damaging. We have to strike now.
I understand that, Athena. I do. But right now, I don't think there's anything more we can do.
But we can't just give up, Twilight. You said you'd try and help me in any way you could. If you have an idea for how to get us out of this mess, even if it's awful, you have to tell me. Otherwise, we'll lose.
I know that. But I can't let you do this. I've seen it happen before, and it's not worth it. There has to be another way.
Seen what
There
happen?
is no other way. We need to do something right now. We can't let Scootaloo or Turning Page down.
I'm not saying we should give up. I'm just saying that...
Unless you two are interested in sharing with the court what you are squabbling about, I believe it is time we moved on.
No! I can't let this happen. If I let this testimony stand, I'll never be able to recover from it.
Very well. Witness, thank you for your time. You may...
Objection! Wait, hold on. There's There's something about the witness's testimony that I find strange.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, what?
Please,
What?
Athena, stop! Sorry, Twilight, but I can't just sit and wait for an opportunity to show itself. I have to knock this testimony down now.
This better not be a bluff, Miss Sykes.
It's looking to be a bluff.
Of course it isn't, Your Honor. Think outside of the box. If I can't cast doubt on the testimony itself, then what if I just cast doubt on the testifying? Is there a way to do that?
Athena,
Miss
no.
Sykes, I've had enough of you wasting this court's time.
Athena, no.
Rebuttal, or let us move on.
Athena, please.
Your Honor, here goes nothing.
Athena,
So,
no.
Actually, the previous testimony didn't have any noticeable contradictions in it.
What? But is that not what we've been saying this whole time?
This is it. Now's my chance. I may not personally believe what I'm about to say, but I don't have a choice now. My hand's been forced. But there was someone on the scene, actually. After Scootaloo and Turning Page fled, someone else arrived.
I don't want to hear this.
Had the perfect opportunity to murder the victim.
Athena, please.
Athena, no.
You aren't saying...
Athena, no. Athena, no.
It really did hit his father, and he fell to the ground.
Athena,
Now, at
no.
that point, who's to say Scootaloo and Turning didn't flee right then, without killing him?
Athena, no.
The one who showed up on the scene after they left would have...
That's not right, though.
Given this scenario,
That's not right. No.
it's entirely possible that our witness, Miss Sakura, is Royal Order's true killer.
No.
What?
No. No, 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 no.
Order in the
Absolutely not.
Are you saying that her whole testimony...
Oh, no.
Giant lie made to cover up her crime?
Not necessarily everything. Just the part where she claimed to have stumbled across the dead body.
Oh,
The defense believes that, instead of finding Royal Order dead, Sakura came across him as he was getting up. She then took the scooter that was left on the scene and stabbed him in the head. Afterwards, she reported the body to the police, claiming he was already dead when she found him.
That is a ridiculous accusation! What could possibly be my motivation?
Turning and Scootaloo don't have motives either. Is it really that much of a stretch to suspect you as well?
Athena.
Your Honor, I may not have any evidence to back up this claim, but you can't deny it is a possibility. As such, we shouldn't take stock in any of this witness's testimony.
You got...
It's true, the yellow attorney brings up a good point. Would the court really do that, though?
Dunno, but hey, if she's right, that means those two kids are innocent.
Gee, up there it is. I was waiting for the World Candlelight voice. Oh shit, she's pissed.
Child!
She is pissed.
Prosecutor Luna, please. There will be no insults in my courtroom.
For one who knows not the weight of her words, I can't think of a better comparison.
Hey! What gives? I was just...
You intend to cast
Good.
doubt on the witness in order to save your own clients. Yet, to do so, you accuse her of committing the crime herself.
Well, what else was I supposed to do? That testimony
was not at all conclusive.
Huh?
The witness never saw who the killer was. She didn't even clearly see who was running away from the scene.
But that's what you and Your Honor were assuming.
And it's your job to point out why that assumption is flawed, and demand further evidence and testimony for the prosecution to support their case. But instead of doing that, you have openly accused this witness. You have dirtied not just her name, but, if you're wrong, yours as well. And you, ponies of the gallery, you who would be so quick to suspect this poor creature on nothing but a baseless theory. Shame on you all! Is this the kind of harmony Equestria seeks to share with the world?
Order! Order!
Wow.
That's enough, Prosecutor Luna.
She is pissed.
One more disparaging remark towards Miss Sykes or the gallery, and I'll have you held in contempt of court.
My apologies, Your Honor.
Say what you want, Prosecutor Luna, but my theory doesn't contradict any of the evidence or testimony presented in this trial. As long as that remains true, I'm free to continue asserting it.
Well, Twilight could also come in to object against itself again.
So be it. I wonder if your co-counsel feels the same way, though.
She does not. Absolutely, she does not.
Twilight, that it's too late for me to back down.
The blackmail letter. I know you have it.
Oh, she does know.
Darn it.
Damn.
What does she know about the blackmail?
Read the letter yourself, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Oh. The location of the blackmail. It's the same.
Oh, that is seriously damaging.
Now, the blackmailer was waiting.
And this blackmailer, who were they?
I can answer that, Your Honor. The defense believes they were two fillies named Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon.
Bullies? How awful! Let me speak with them. There'll be no bullying on my watch.
Good judge.
I'm pretty content watching me get insulted, though.
It's fine.
There's more, Your Honor. We learned that an altercation between the Crusaders and these bullies occurred on the day of the—
This is where you can bring up the sword.
During that exchange, Turning Page came to their aid and chased the bullies off. This was where Scootaloo and Turning Page first met, and later—
You can bring up the sword here, though.
Getting to know each other.
I'm pretty sure you can bring the sword up here.
Somehow related to the blackmail letter?
Precisely, Your Honor. Hey there, Blank Flinks. The only ponies who would address the Crusaders as such are these bullies. This serves as definitive proof that the ponies who wrote the blackmail letter are none other than Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. Objection!
What do you mean, objection?
Unfortunately, defense, that is not a wholly concrete possibility.
Huh? But the insult
could easily be a red herring by the author of the note. Suppose Your Honor began to refer to you as Golden Pixie. Would that make him me?
Well, would it, Golden Pixie? I very much would not mind being considered a—
God damn it, Judge. God damn it, Judge.
I'd rather not answer that, Your Honor.
If we could find the magazines that these letters were cut out from, it'd be a simple matter of matching the cuts on the letters to the holes in the magazines.
Yeah, but we don't have those magazines.
Are you sure about that?
What does that have to do?
Are those?
What?
We have here 2 magazines with several letters cut out from many different pages.
Okay.
If you would be so kind, I'd like to request some time for the police to analyze the letters on the note and the empty spaces in the magazines. If we get a match, then we'll know for a fact that the blackmail letter was written using these magazines.
But what does that have to do with—
Court grants the prosecution's request. Private Eye?
Huh?
Yes, my lord.
Please take this letter and these magazines and have an analysis performed. Try to have it done in 30 minutes if you can.
Certainly, my
lord. Okay. It's only it can't be 2.5 hours already of recording. It can't. But what does the magazine have to do with anything? I don't even know. Like, what does it have to do with the crime scene? Well, I'm gonna have to figure out the next time I record this and finish it up. I have to piece it together because there's no way I can do this in one sitting. This kind of sucks, but you know, it's what you gotta do. Anyway, yeah. No, that's a lot of information. Again, I feel like Luna is trying to help Athena throughout the case. I think she's genuinely trying to help her, but at the same time, she's not holding back on Athena's bullshit that she's clearly showing. And it's not like she's trying to like profess herself as confident as she is with her bluffs too, because you can tell that she isn't even 100% confident in what she's saying, and she knows this, but she's trying to get, I don't know. I know there's another part to this, so it clearly doesn't end here, but god damn. Totally isn't a new day. Very consistent recordings this is. Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna listen to this in the back while I look for the court record.
The court grants the prosecution.
Okay, alright. No, wait. Now I remember. Why does that matter, though? Because why would that automatically pin it towards some individual? Anybody could read a magazine and cut out things. That's the whole point of it being a ransom note. Not done in any manuscript that could be traced back to someone. Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose if they can yeah. I don't know. I don't know where Luna's going with this.
The letters on the blackmail note match the shape of the cuts in the magazines.
Okay. But again, what does that mean?
I see.
You can't trace that to one person.
How the blackmail letter was written. But I fail to see how this helps us, prosecutor.
Did you?
The magazines that were used to write the blackmail letter were found in the home of Royal Order.
What? Wait, that makes no sense. What?
Prosecutor Luna, are you saying that the one behind the blackmail is the victim himself?
No.
At the side of the blackmail, it was his body that remained after Scootaloo and Turning Page fled the scene.
No.
The magazines used to write the blackmail letter were found in his home. It certainly doesn't look good for him.
Are you kidding me? No. They were found in the victim's house. Unless they were plopped there. That... Okay.
Remember the Royal Guard? Wasn't it?
I don't think it was him. No, we know it was Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon.
Objection! Prosecutor Luna, you can't seriously be suggesting that Royal Order is the blackmailer. It doesn't make
Or Turning Page.
Given the fact he was in Canterlot when the theft occurred,
She's gonna say Turning Page is the blackmailer.
However, I don't recall ever asserting that he was.
Yeah, she never did do that either. That was entirely the judge. That was entirely the judge making that assumption, not her.
Yet the fact remains that these magazines...
It's either that or his wife, which, why would his wife be the murderer?
The perpetrator of this blackmailing must be some pony else who lives there. We know for a fact it can't be Turning, given that he went with Scootaloo into the forest to set
up you're actually going to accuse his wife?
You don't mean...
No, you don't. No, you're not.
Only be the victim's wife, Miss Fair Devotion.
What?
No. There's something weird about this case. I don't buy this at all.
What up? That's the defendant's own mother.
I don't buy this.
I am, Your Honor.
Why would Miss Devotion want to blackmail the Crusaders?
Because she needed to. You left out the most important detail.
What detail?
That Turning's attack resulted in the fillies' dresses getting ruined. Now tell me, Golden Pixie, what do you suppose happened afterwards? We are able to shed light.
Oh, wait a minute.
Please explain, prosecutor.
What happened?
According to Fair Devotion, Diamond Tiara's mother, Spoiled Rich, met with her later that day, after hearing about the incident from her daughter. Those dresses Turning Page dirty were custom made and quite expensive. So, of course, Mrs. Rich was rather upset to hear about what had happened to them. Seeing as how the fault was her son, Spoiled demanded that Miss Devotion pay back the money in compensation. Mrs. Rich happens to be the president of the Ponyville School Board.
Yeah, she is.
Feared that if she didn't agree, Mrs. Rich would ensure that she would never work.
Yeah, she's the sub. Oh, that is
But now
a good alibi.
Why Miss Devotion would need to get her hooves on a great deal.
That is good. That is a good motive, but
For money.
Now, why, Miss Sparkle, would that be the case?
Why? Well, because...
wait.
Like I said, it takes a long time to make, and it costs a lot of money.
The fabric would fetch a pretty high price if sold to the right pony?
Exactly. Turning must have overheard what was said, and recounted the details to his mother when she confronted him.
No, that's...
And that, fillies and gentle colts, is precisely what gave Miss Devotion the idea to blackmail the Cutie Mark Crusaders. She did it in order to pay off Spoiled Rich.
What?
What is even happening right now?
It's easy to imagine that Miss Devotion and her husband were working together.
Working together? But I thought Mr. Order had gone into that forest to look
She's
for his son.
she's bluffing.
So Miss Devotion claims.
She's got to be bluffing.
The prosecution sees no reason to trust her word anymore. Armed with the knowledge of the blackmailing and the fabric roll, he would have left immediately for the castle. That would be the real reason why Royal Order went into the forest that night. He intended to act as the recipient for the blackmail. As the defense has previously demonstrated, it'd be rather difficult for Scootaloo to be involved in this crime.
So they're just pinning it on Turning Page. They're really trying to pin this on Turning Page.
Therefore, the prosecution is willing to cut the defense a deal here.
I knew it. 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 They're gonna try to get Scootaloo off the hook and bring it all to Turning Page. I knew it. I knew it. They're gonna...
The choice is yours, Golden Pixie.
Hold it!
Was that Sweetie Belle? Or was that Apple Bloom? Oh, it was Turning Page.
Your Honor?
Uh-oh. No, he's gonna confess.
Objection! Turning, don't do this! We don't have to give up yet!
Thank you for fighting so hard for us, Miss Sykes. But this is honestly for the best.
Objection! No! It's not! I promised you both. I'd save the two of you together!
But there's no way you can do that now. Can you? And besides, this is...
Just tell me one thing, Turning. Who was it that you met at the bridge? Was it really your father?
Oh.
So I was right then. It was Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon.
Well, yes, it was. But that's...
Ha! See, Luna? The defendant just disproved your whole theory.
There's no evidence to back it up, though. It's hearsay otherwise. Oh, Athena, oh man, she is fighting. She is fighting so hard, but man, oh god, her arguments and attacks are so limp.
Objection! Yes, congratulations, my dear Golden Pixie.
Oh god.
Add perjury to the defendant's list of charges.
Objection! Not if he's telling the truth, Prosecutor Luna.
Don't forget what I told you before this all started. You and Scootaloo have nothing to worry about. I promise. Surely, Miss Sykes can promise you the same?
Is she? Yes, she's trying to help them. Of course! Accidenti! I'm never gonna get any better if I keep getting bailed out like this. But I need to do something. Just this once, okay? Just this once.
Are you gonna call for therapy?
Yes, Prosecutor Luna. I can indeed.
Glad to see we're on the same page, then.
I'm not quite sure I understand what just happened.
That's fine. Just sit there and sit pretty.
Summarize for you, Your Honor. The prosecution claims that the orchestrator of the blackmailing deal was Fair Devotion. We claim this because of the magazines found in her home. These, as previously proven, were used to create the blackmail letter.
Yes.
We also claim that Miss Devotion sent her husband, Royal Order, to the scene for the exchange. He was subsequently killed by one or both of the ponies who arrived to settle the deal, Scootaloo and Turning Page. Meanwhile, the defense claims that the orchestrators of the blackmail were two fillies the Cutie Mark Crusaders had encountered earlier in the day.
Yes.
Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. Their main evidence is what Turning has just said, that the ponies he and Scootaloo met at the bridge that night were, in fact, Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. Defense, I hardly need to explain to you that testimony from the defendant is not entirely reliable, do I?
Not at all, Prosecutor Luna.
Then, by all means, do prove it to us. Prove that the one the defendants met at the crime scene was not Royal.
I'm looking at the court record right now.
Instead, those two fillies.
Golden Silk Roll.
All of the evidence relating to the blackmail seems to.
Oh, glass shards! Glass shards!
Instead,
it's the glass shards! It's the glass shards. If this would load up. Because that was on the scene. Glass shards. They're sweet. They're silver spoons. Yeah. It's the glass shards. That's what it was. That's what pins Silver Spoon onto the crime scene. And then Diamond Tiara could also be there because they're always together. I was trying to figure out what pinned them there. It was the freaking shards.
Prosecutor Luna, I have a question for you. How do you think the victim made it to the scene of the blackmail?
He likely would have teleported as far as we know he could go, the crossroads, and simply walked the rest of the way.
Objection! Unfortunately, Prosecutor Luna, that's not possible.
Why not?
Why not?
Remind me once again at what time the two of you entered the forest.
It was around 9:25, I'm pretty sure.
And while you were walking through the forest, did you ever come across anyone?
No.
I don't think so.
Prosecutor Luna! The court what time the victim left his house?
As we heard from Detective I's testimony, it was 9:30.
And do you know how long it takes to reach the crossroads from the forest entrance?
Like 15 minutes?
About 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes.
Precisely. And that clears it all up then, doesn't it?
I'm afraid I'm not following.
The prosecution claims that Royal Order teleported himself to the crossroads as soon as he left his house. In other words, at 9:30. Additionally, we've just confirmed that Turning and Scootaloo entered the forest at 9:25. After a 5-minute walk, they would have reached the crossroads at 9:30.
So they would have met up with him.
In conclusion, the victim couldn't have teleported to the crossroads immediately after leaving his house, because if he did, he would have appeared right in front of the defendants.
Objection! Very impressive, Golden Pixie. You've proven that Royal Order couldn't have been walking ahead of the defendants. But what's preventing him from having followed behind them? It might mean he was a little late to the meeting, but that alone doesn't make it an impossibility.
You'd hear the teleportation sound.
You have proof to the contrary, defense?
Do we? I don't think we do.
Is something wrong, Miss Sykes? You look like you've come to a terrible realization.
You're not helping, Judge.
He's right. I have.
Oh.
Weren't you worried about two kids going so far into the forest themselves?
Sakura.
Of course I was.
I guess no one ever came then?
Yeah, no one went by.
Neither pony nor foal. I finished.
And Sakura didn't see anybody, so ooh. That's not good.
Fiction is obvious, but unless I retract my earlier accusation, it won't be credible.
Defense? What have you hit upon?
Oh boy.
So, this is what Luna meant when she said she'd force me to abandon that theory. Once again?
Are you really gonna accuse her a second time?
No, that's not right. Not again. This isn't like before, when I could have let it go. This time I really have no choice.
Are you really?
I have to do this. And Luna knows it. If she isn't out for blood, then letting Sakura's testimony stand shouldn't be much of a problem, regardless of how much it hurts our case. At this point, that's what I have to believe.
Speak.
Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Sykes?
Before the defense makes its next argument, we would like to retract our accusation of Miss Sakura.
Defense! Did I hear that right? You wish to retract your accusation?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll have you know, Miss Sykes, that I don't take kindly to fruitless accusations. I'm afraid I'll have to hold you in contempt of court as punishment.
Contempt!
Objection! The prosecution objects to the defense being held in contempt.
Oh.
You do?
We can see that our opponent is merely a fledgling attorney, still trying to find her footing. Such inexperience can easily lead to impulsive decisions.
Prosecutor Luna.
Even so, in this line of work, such actions cannot be overlooked, Prosecutor Luna. They could easily lead to the destruction of an innocent life. As such, I feel punishment is necessary here.
I understand, Your Honor. In that case, why don't we leave that decision up to the one whose life was targeted? If
Sakura.
she wishes for the defense to be punished, then the prosecution will stand down.
Really?
Very well. Witness?
Really?
Say.
It's alright, Miss Sakura. You don't have to say anything. If you want to see me get punished, I won't blame you. What I did was rash and dumb. I'm just really new at this. Twilight here tried to stop me, but I didn't listen to her. As a result, I put you in danger, even though I knew I had no real reason to suspect you of anything, especially when a certain feeling made me aware you'd never murder any pony. I can't expect you to forgive me, but I just wanted the chance to say I'm sorry.
I understand what you meant to do, saving both Turning and Scootaloo. While your accusation has hurt my pride, I, for one, will take it in stride. You and I desire the same, you see, to see those two young defendants set free. You evidently still have much to learn, but punishment from me you have not earned.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sakura.
The court acknowledges the witness's decision. The defense shall not be held in contempt.
Okay.
However, Miss Sykes, I'd better not see any more rash accusations come from you again.
Or you will be held.
You will be penalized and held in contempt, regardless of what the prosecution or witnesses may say.
Understood, Your Honor.
I'm glad we've cleared up that matter.
Jeez.
So now let's return to the topic at hoof. The prosecution still believes that Royal Order was the recipient for the blackmail exchange. Our amended theory is that he followed behind the children as they made their way through the forest. Defense, do you have any objections to this interpretation?
I do.
Then, by all means, state them here and now.
It all relies on Sakura's witness testimony. If you recall,
there we go.
Let alone turn sour.
And the chance of using an illumination spell?
Well, Sakura didn't see him.
Highly unlikely. Thus, Royal Order could not have been involved in the blackmail.
There you go. That sounds more plausible. Good job.
Good job, Athena. That sounds better. That's a better argument made. Genuinely. That it took a while, but man, it finally came out.
And with that, any motive for murder has completely disappeared.
Huh?
Bravo, Miss Sykes. That was a fantastic rebuttal.
Oh, thanks?
It's too early for thanks, Golden Pixie.
Oh boy, back to the nickname already.
Your assertions are solid and well-founded, but unfortunately, they are far from impregnable. The first is the small shadow Miss Sakura saw. We can't know for certain it was related to these kids. If it's not, then we have no way of knowing exactly when they left the scene.
Well, why don't we ask them now?
Objection! Any testimony they could offer on this
Yeah.
influenced by your own remarks.
Yeah.
They could easily claim to agree with your statements in order to support your story. And that would get us nowhere.
That may be true.
We're using our right to remain silent here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Really?
They told you, Golden Pixie. Would that not defeat the entire purpose of the right?
Also, they have the Fifth Amendment in Equestria since when? When was that a thing? Well, actually, no. I think it was in Turnabout Storm because I think Gilda used the right to remain silent. I think someone did in Turnabout Storm, so I'm like, right, that's the connection to there. Also, what do they have to hide that they're not using? That they're calling the right to remain silent, huh?
It's still entirely possible that he could have done so before the two ever reached the area.
No!
As long as we have no reason to doubt that Miss Devotion was the one behind the blackmail, it'll be difficult to refute this point.
But she's not the one behind the blackmail. Turning said it himself.
Again, not reliable.
The castle were Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon.
And yet, no evidence has been submitted which would suggest that either Diamond Tiara or
You have evidence for it, though.
at the scene of the crime. We only have the defendant's words, which cannot be.
You do have evidence. You do have evidence.
Well,
You do have evidence.
I know for a fact that Diamond and Silver were the ones.
You have evidence. It's the glass shards.
There that night. But how am I supposed to prove that if I can't even use Scootaloo and Turtle?
Glass shards.
I've never even seen these kids before. How am
Twilight.
I supposed to be able to? Objection!
Yeah, Twilight figured it out. Ugh.
Twilight?
You're right, Prosecutor Luna. Looking through the evidence, there's nothing that can yet prove our claim.
What?
Which is why the defense is prepared to submit.
They never actually submitted evidence to the court.
Are Athena.
Twilight.
Glass shards. Glass shards. Thank you.
Those pieces of glass?
In a sense, Your Honor, if you run through the profiles of every single pony involved in this case so far. You'll notice that they all share a distinct characteristic. Not a single one of them wears glasses.
That helps.
Prosecutor Luna is.
That does help that most of them don't wear glasses.
That would, of course, Silver Spoon.
What?
Objection! Many ponies wear glasses, Miss Sparkle. So I'm afraid that alone isn't enough to substantiate your claim. Do you have any proof that those shards of glass are from Miss Spoon's glasses specifically?
Damn.
Unfortunately, I don't.
You'll first need to show us that those shards are, beyond reasonable doubt, related to the crime in question.
Very well. I'll do just that. Athena?
So much for no more getting bailed out. Twilight's doing all the work for us. If I hadn't jumped the gun with accusing Sakura...
Come on, Athena.
Yeah?
We're going to have to make a gamble here.
What do you...
Oh? You mean Sakura?
Yes, but before I do this, I just thought...
Or Fair Devotion? Or is it Apple Bloom?
You seem to know far better than me how to handle this.
Who's she? Are you talking about Apple Bloom? Or Sakura?
What can prove the connection these glass shards have with this case?
Is it Sakura?
Your Honor, if you recall, we heard testimony from Sakura earlier.
For along that castle's cliffs, sometimes rare flowers.
Where is this going?
Sadly, when my search was done, I left without finding a single one.
But what significance does that have here?
If Sakura had gone to the scene earlier that day, then she might be able to confirm for us whether or not the shards in question were present at the time. The glass shards in the picture here. Were they there when you went to the scene that day?
How funny you bring this up to me. It just came rushing back, you see. That night at the scene, those shards I did spy. The glint of the moonlight caught my eye. And as for their presence earlier that day, I think you'll like what I have to say. Because as far as I can recall...
You didn't see him there at all? You didn't see them there at all? You didn't see them there at all? Come on!
There were no glass shards there at all.
There we go.
Sakura, you've been a great help. So there you have it, Prosecutor Luna. It'll prove conclusively that both Silver Spoon and Diamond Tiara were at the scene that very night.
I concur with Princess Twilight. Prosecutor Luna, what are your thoughts?
The prosecution concedes that the glasses prove exactly what the defense claims.
Wow.
You do?
There is, however, one final question I must ask. Does your stance in regards to why these two would have been in the forest that night remain unchanged? But do you still claim that they were the blackmailers?
Yes.
I'm not even sure I should say anything at this point. I've already messed up once before, making claims that I couldn't back up.
True, but this is different from then. We have a footing now, one backed up by our own evidence. Regardless of how this trial has gone so far for us, I think we're finally getting somewhere. I think this is our chance to make up for our mistakes.
You mean my mistakes?
Athena, come on.
But Twilight...
Athena! I know you feel like you messed up, but that doesn't matter right now. I took a huge gamble with objecting earlier, but I did that because I trusted you could back me up if I needed you to. Yes, you accused Sakura, but we can't let that stop us. We've got one chance to bring those fillies to the stand. We have to take it.
Twilight, even after what I did, you still believe in me?
Come on!
Twilight just paved the way for us to make our comeback. Even if the evidence is stacked against us,
We still haven't used like half of this shit.
together.
Miss Sykes, Princess Twilight.
There is a lot of waiting.
Yes?
Do you, or do you not, still assert that Miss Tiara and Miss Spoon were the ones behind the blackmailing?
What I will say real quick is that Thespio does such an amazing job on the judge in giving a unique spin to him, because he not only, he sounds like, you know, that fun old man that everyone loves, but he also can sound menacing, as he should be, as the judge presiding over one's life. And he's not taking any shit. I do like that. I like how this judge doesn't take anyone's bullcrap. He was willing, despite the fact that he knew Athena, he was willing to hold her in contempt for fucking up because that's his job. Not like he wasn't like, oh, I'll let you go. No, he was 100% down to do that, despite Luna even having to interject or intervene rather. Like, this judge is amazing. I love this. I love their take on this judge. I wanted to say something earlier when he was talking about how if Athena fucks up again that bad, then she will absolutely get held in contempt regardless of anybody else's stance. Like, I wanted to say something there. He's taking a stand and he doesn't care. And I like that. I appreciate that.
Ready, Athena?
Come on, say the thing.
I hope so.
The golden pixie is back from her sulking journey, I see. Let us hear this final answer, then.
Come on.
The defense?
Come on. Confidence!
The defense still believes that Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon were the ones who blackmailed the Cutie Mark Crusaders.
Objection! And how do you expect that claim to hold, Golden Pixie? The evidence has clearly established that Fair Devotion is the only one who could have been the blackmailer. The magazines found in her home are conclusive to this fact.
Yeah, but we don't know if they own... We don't know if she owns them. They could have been plopped there after the fact.
That very fact is nothing short of the true author's trap.
Yeah.
And where's your evidence?
Of course. The glass shards. They prove that Silver Spoon and, presumably, Diamond Tiara were both at the scene where the blackmail was supposed to occur. That can't be a coincidence.
And that was when the magazines were found.
Then perhaps that evidence should be called into question.
Exactly. The glass shards found at the scene corroborate the defendant's testimony. So if anything's suspect here, it's those magazines. It's quite possible they could have been placed in the victim's home in an attempt to mislead the investigation.
That's what I was thinking. Because I'm like, where the heck were they are?
Definitive proof of your claim. Just speculation and guesswork.
Then there's only one way we can say
Yeah, call them to the stand.
To call Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon to the stand.
There we go.
They were there. It's impossible to hide that now.
Come on.
This point is what they saw.
Were they the blackmailers? Or was it someone else? The only way we can find out for sure is by hearing what they have to say.
This is a good track, by the way. I like this track from Dual Destinies.
Allow me to give my thoughts on the matter. The prosecution has given us a very convincing case with only the slightest room for doubt. However, given the potential that there were additional witnesses to the crime that we have yet to hear from, I do not feel it is right for me to give a verdict at this time.
Awesome.
Luna, what say you?
The prosecution concedes to the defense's request.
Very well.
Luna has been surprisingly, like...
During that time, I expect the prosecution to obtain the results on those glass shards and find out if they match the prescription of the Billy Silver Spoon. If by chance they do, the court demands that she and Diamond Tiara are summoned here immediately to give testimony.
That last bit will be entirely unnecessary, Your Honor. After all, the two of them are already sitting in the witness lobby, waiting to be summoned to the stand.
Wait, you what? You knew!
Court is now adjourned.
You knew! But you knew! But you knew then! You knew! If you're gonna break Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon in anyway, then you knew! Alright. Not bad, not bad. Though, I will say, and this is being completely honest, like, a lot of this part is just kind of filler setup for the actual part of the trial with Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. Because I was hoping they would get put on fairly early, but then 2.5 hours happened. Like, I feel... I mean, okay, we need to establish that there's no other considerable reason to come in that could, you know, bring them in. And we knew that's what we were trying to get to bring them in. We used, like, maybe 3 pieces of evidence over the course of 5 hours. We got like a few new pieces, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like Well, yeah, it is only the first part. So hopefully the next part will actually bring everything together. Yeah, I feel like a lot of it was, I wouldn't say filler, because a lot of it is still important information, but like, it could just be me, but I wanted to just get to Diamond Tier and Silver Spoon, which we had to trudge in the deep to get to that point. Alright, that's no problem though. Next time we will do that. When next time? I have no clue. But it is out already. Who knows? Maybe the next part or two will already be out after that part, and by the time this comes out, who knows? I'm gonna try my best. But we'll see you guys next time for another video. Take care, have a lovely day, and we'll see you in the next part. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shout outs to the crew that shout outs to the crew that evidently watches these, and I'll probably have this up live, so you know, let me know what you think of it in the chat. And can't wait to watch the next part. Thanks for watching. God, I wish I wasn't moving.